All right. Once again, good morning. You're welcome to Intercontinental College of Technology. This is where futures are being shaped. Okay? Okay. I believe in your areas of study or as a computer student, you have been taught about internet. Because a web development or website will not be complete without internet. If I am to design a website, then I need internet. So the question is, what is a website and what is an internet? How does this internet work with a website that we build? That when we build, then the whole world starts seeing it. How does it work? Facebook has a website. They have an app. So if you cannot use the app, you use what? The website. So Facebook is on the what? Internet. So which means without internet, Facebook will not be functioning. That is all. So it requires that you must have an internet access, which is through our what? Data that we buy or we purchase, we subscribe to, and then we are able to access some of these things. But in the Facebook app, it was done in such a way that even without data, you can at least message someone. Have it? But the videos will be restricted. You cannot watch it, isn't it? But you can at least message someone or like someone's picture. So what is internet? Let's start from there. Then from there we'll begin to grow. What is internet? Speak louder. It's a global network of all network. Means that there's a network and there's another network that controls the networks. It's a global network of all network, interconnected of computers to communicate together. Sharing of resources. What are these resources that this computer shares? I get my point now. Now, before now, we discovered that, or we all know that internet, there was nothing like internet. Am I right? There was nothing like internet before now. But we have what we call ARPANET. How many of you know what is called ARPANET? You've heard of ARPANET? You've heard of ARPANET? You've not heard of ARPANET? My God. You too, you've not heard of ARPANET? Isaac. Well, I see this computer student too. You don't heard of ARPANET? How many of you have read about the history of internet? At least you took a little time to read about history of internet. Well, I do. It's okay. Internet was known as ARPANET. before it was ARPANET. And internet is not a one-man something. The name was not mentioned that this particular man built internet, but a name was mentioned as an agency that they are the one that what started the internet, which was known as ARPANET. If you look at the board there, you will see it there. Advanced Research Project what? Agency Network. That was what the internet was called then. It was called ARPANET. It was the Americans that came up with that network. And the aim of that network was just for a research. To carry on their private research and to see how they can grow their countries. And then from there, other countries begin to see the need of this ARPANET. And they begin to gain in, try to have access to the ARPANET, like Russia. And now for ARPANET to grow, they decided to include more devices like router, switch, just to grow the network. Now the essence of growing the network, we were growing the network just for others can benefit. All this was happening out of 1970, 71, 72, 73. But then I'm not sure if they don't born they don't born enough now. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that ARPANET was the internet that was used then. And the main aim was for what? Research. You know that today research is very easy. Not like before. That research is very difficult. Do you understand? So if you want to go into the space now, research must be carried out for you to know what and what to do so that you will not be affected. Let's say you are going to another space. Research must have been carried out about that particular place. Now, how did these people get to have some of this research done? ARPANET. I get my point. They want to build weapons. They also use what? ARPANET in doing such research. So the internet has existed before what we call a website. I get my point now. The internet has existed before what we call websites came on board. Now, when they started to add more devices, more switch to enhance the performance of internet, other countries begin to gain interest on using how to use what? The ARPANET. Then it gets to what? Which year? This year, 1990, 1991. Then I say that other countries has involved in this ARPANET research network. How then do we make it useful for everyone to benefit? That's when they come together and then they decided to make it, change the name from ARPANET to Inter. They removed what? ARPA and they added Inter. ARPA was what? Removed and they added what? Inter. That is to make it what? Is a global. Is a global. So when we talk about internet, we're talking about a interconnected computers. Is a global. So it's not one, not two, not three, not four. There are many that are connected together that shares out these resources. I get my points now. Now, what is TCP? Let me ask. Is there on the board? What is TCP? Huh? Transmission control protocols. How does it work? Now, let me use the simplest way. I transfer money, you receive in cash. What happens? How come I transfer money that is not cash, but you receive in cash? It then means that transmission has taken place, isn't it? Because the money I transfer is just, I'm just seeing it on my screen. I cannot touch it. So for me to have access to it, I need to transfer it through another means for me to have what? That cash. So we say that money has gone through transmission. There are protocol rules that controls these things. So they are not done by magic. There are rules. That's what we call it, protocols. You must obey the rules of all these things. Every device is attached to an IP. What is IP? That one everybody will remember. Internet protocol. Internet protocol. If I build a new website now, and I host my website, that website will automatically be allocated with IP. And that's what we call IP address. I don't know, you know what is called IP address? To be allocated to what? An IP address will be allocated to that website. Now, that IP address allocated to me as an identity of my website, they will also give me a domain name that I can share to individual, because I will not share my IP. But the IP will be given only to the person who purchased the domain. Because only that person can have access to where? To the website. Now, all of these things, money is a liquidity, is in liquid form. So for transmission to take place, there must be what we call TCP. In every area of internet, you chat with somebody, transmission takes place. Transmission takes place. So when you hear about protocol is not like something we can just underrate. There are rules. That is why there are some platforms when once you violate their policy, they block you out, because you did not follow what? The protocol. So protocols are important. So all these devices you see, they are built with their what? Way of behavior and rules. Facebook will tell you, if you don't follow their policies, you go and post something that you are not supposed to post. What happened? Suspend you, because you violated what? Their rules. So all these things are there, and they are not new. These are things we see every day, we come across every day. Are we together? As internet begin to grow, Now, there is need for people now to have an interest to gain access to this internet. And for people to gain access for internet, now they need to come about what we call websites. The period where website has to come to play. A man called Tim Berners-Lee now invented or designed a web page. And that web page was not just one, it was a millions of web pages. Millions of web pages. So not one. When he built web page, the essence is that for you to access me, you must have an internet to access me. If I don't have data, it means I cannot access you. If I don't have data, it means I cannot access your software. I cannot access your website. I get my point now. So you see, the website is built in collaboration with what? Internet. Like you must have an internet, you must have access to internet before you have access to the website. I get my point. So website and internet, they are somehow, there's a similarity with them, but they are different things. Because a website are web pages, while internet are global conditions. Am I communicating? So, as we proceed, what we are interested in is the website. That's what we are interested in. How can we build this web page that this man called Tim Berners-Lee now built? Is the question. And which language did he now use to build this website? These are the things we are now going to work on. To get our point. Now, we have heard of www, World Wide Web. The World Wide Web is the man called Tim Berners-Lee that built it. That's what I'm talking about. The World Wide Web, or web, is a massive collection of digital pages to access information over the internet. So it's just like is the back end of the internet. It's the back end of the internet. So for you to access information, you must first of all have what? Internet. Access to internet. The World Wide Web, which is WW, is an internet-based service which uses common set of rules known as what? I said it before. So those rules must be obeyed. Even the browsers we use, they have protocols. They must be obeyed. So we have HTTP, we have www. Why? Why do we have them? When a normal was just supposed to enter the website immediately, and not so, because there are rules that must be obeyed. The HTTP we have hypertext transfer what? Protocol, and then we have www. And if you must log into a website, they must tell you what? First of all, is what? HTTP, some S, some without S, slash what? www. Why the triple www? Because the website is in a web. For it to be accessed, you must first of all what? Go to the web. Once you have the internet will fetch it out from the web. Somebody say he want to buy a bag of rice. Maybe he said the bag of rice is golden penny, and he came to my store, and I did not display the bag of rice outside. What do I need to do? I need to go back to my store and get what? The golden penny of rice, and come and give it to him. So it is. If you must access somebody's website, there is www. It is that www, that is where in the web, that is where your website is. I get me. That is where your website is. So the only thing you need to do now is to have access to internet to do what? To access that web. Thank God for Tim Bernard. If not, look at him. Assuming it's not him now, we wouldn't have known anything about website today. Maybe another person would have come up with another idea. The web is viewed through a web software such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, these are browsers, Mozilla Firefox. The web uses HTTP protocols to transmit data and allow applicants to communicate in order to exchange business logic, business informations, business interactions. The web document contains graphics, sounds, and text and videos. The web document contains graphics. So if my website is not built as a web, and it will not work. And every website has an expiring date. Uncle, what is happening to you? Am I preaching? Try to pay attentively, but this is the foundation. Once you miss it, you have difficulties in following up. Every website has what? A foundation. If you are building a website, you must acknowledge that website is a web. And that's why we have different tools in building websites today. I get now. Different tools and different words, technologies. When I mean technologies, I'm not talking about computer, maybe laptop. No, I don't mean that one. Technologies means the languages. So we have what we call web technologies as well. So as a programmer, as a web developer, if you are building a website, I might ask you, what kind of technologies are you using? As a developer, you should understand the language. I get my point. So you don't wait until I begin to break it down. Because accounting have their own set of language rules they use anytime they are together. So a computer student should not understand the languages that the computers, as a computer student, you should know. So when we say web technologies, we are referring to what kind of languages do you use? You get my point? So the web is important. The web is important. As I'm going gradually, I'll begin to expose so many things. Now, come to a web page. The web page. What is a web page? We said that a web page is what? A file on the web. It's a file on the web. Meaning that all the websites I have been building, they are files. They are files. Maybe if you go to your school portal, if I click about, it will display the history of the school, isn't it? Now, that about alone, there is a script written as about. So in that script, they wrote it as a file. The name, the history, everything. They found out how the whole thing started till today. They wrote everything out. And they now what? Save it in the web. So hence, as far as it's in the web, it becomes what? A file in the web. Somebody say, give me a sheet of paper, or pull out a sheet of paper for me. That paper is just a paper, but that sheet of paper is in a book. It's compiled as a book. So the whole of that book or the whole of that paper becomes a book. So if you are designing a website, it is called a website, but that website contains files, not one, not two, not three, not four. Plenty. If I'm building an NGO website today, it then means that I will think of what to bring in or what to add that will make it up as an NGO website. So those files I bring becomes what? The file in a web. I get my point now. A website is a collection of web pages maintained by a college, government agency, company, or individuals. That's what a website is. They are collections of web pages. So a web page, if you have a web page of about, that is number one file. You have a web page of courses that you offer. That is another one. File. You have another web page of departments. That's another one. So at the end that you have produced all of this, you now begin to what? Join them together. That's the essence. That's where we see. You click here, the thing open here. You click this one, it gives you another page. You click this one, it gives you another side. Because it is not just one file. There are many that are in that website that make up that website. Am I communicating? A web page is created by using a computer language called Hypertext Markup Language, which is what? HTML. It is the foundation of what? Building a web page. So if I must build a website, I must understand how to use what? HTML. Because there are some structures, elements that I will need to build what? The website. So you must understand it. So after this introduction, we should be knowing what HTML is all about. Then we talk about hypertext. Web pages are hypertext documents. And that is why we have HTTP. That's why we have what? HTTP. Because the document must be checked whether it's what? A hypertext document. And if your website is not in the web, it will always tell you website cannot be reached. I believe we have had such experience. Website cannot be reached. Maybe you are trying to log in on a website and you see website cannot be reached. The domain name is correct, everything is correct, but it's still telling you website cannot be reached. Why? Because that website maybe was in the web before, but now maybe it has expired. Maybe the owner can no longer renew it, or maybe has been scrapped out of the domain, or out of the web. So you cannot access it. So once it happens like that, you know that this website that was existing before is no longer in the web. I get my point. So let me skip that and go to something important. So this brings me to what? Website. What is a website? A website is a collection of related web page. Remember, we said that a web page is what? A file on a web. And now they are saying that a website is a collection of web page. And if I'm building a website, I don't need just one web page. I need like many that will what? Fetch me that particular website. If I'm building a school portal now, I know that I will need a lot of web pages. Because I will build a dashboard that will see all the whole students. I will build a dashboard that I will have the student from each department. I will have a part where I can add a student. I will add a part where a student can check their results. But so many files. So as it goes on like this, you keep clicking, it keeps responding. I get my point. So a collection of related what? Web pages is known as what? A website. Often identified by a domain name and hosted on a web server. Hosted where? Thank you. What is ISP? ISP. Thank you. Internet service provider. Now, what is the duty of the internet service provider? Is to grant you the access to use what? My service. If somebody asks you, what network are you using? You say it's MTN. Isn't it? The other person says, I'm using Airtel. Why is it that Airtel network is not good here? Your internet service provider is not what? Okay. The Airtel is your internet service provider. The MTN is your internet service provider. That is why you purchase data with them. So if you don't want, you can purchase with what? Another network. So you see today, we have so many companies that host websites. And each of these companies that host websites have their own web server. In their own web server, it's not like if you log in through the website, you will not see the website. I get my point now. It's just like now. I have data. Isaac Johnson, sir, please can you hotspot me? If I hotspot him now, what happens? He's buying data from me. He's gaining from me. Why me? I am paying the other people. I get my point now. So that is how it is. Those who host website as the web server, those who have the company of hosting a website, what they do, they also pay revenues to those who they gain the source from. Why we patronize, they also service those behind them. So it's a lot. So I wonder why this man called Tim Berners-Lee is not the richest man in the world. Because only these things there are millions of websites online. And it's not free, you don't host free. On a monthly basis, you keep what? Renewing. So it's not a small money. You want to own a company of hosting a website, it's not a small money you must spend. And you must ensure that your services are okay for people to patronize. You get me? So there is what we call a common domain name. I have explained before. If I want to host a website now, I will go to a company. I will log into a company that will host my website. If I like their services, I will just purchase a domain name. And when purchasing a domain name, there are different types of domain name you can purchase. A domain name is the unique name given to your website. Like we have, okay, Google say they are them, they are Google. So the name is Google, Google. And they put what? .com. That .com now, that is their unique domain name. Anybody can use .com, but the name must be different. If anybody have used Isaac.com, I cannot come and use Isaac.com. There must be different initials that will be different from Isaac.com. But .com is what? For everybody. So we have .com, we have .org, we have .ng, we have .edu. .edu.ng, that means education in Nigeria. I get now. NG means what? Nigeria, referring to what? Nigeria. Now we have .org. .org, when you see .org, means what? International. Is international. That is why you see all NGOs goes on what? .org, so that they can benefit from international bodies as well. Do NGO now. Do the NGO website. Stella, do the NGO website. So be benefiting from international bodies. So if you have .com, it's not like you cannot benefit, but it's not an international standard. Like international body will just come. Especially when you have .com.ng, because that one is already limited. You're already focusing on your country alone. Because .com.ng. So .gov is government. And as they are, their prices also what? Varies. Prices vary. So if you come to me now, you want to purchase a domain now, build a website, commercial website can use .com. Build a commercial website, so I want to host it. And the price is there. What you spend is there. So it's not still easy. You spend a lot to host. You get. So you're going to purchase a security standard just to protect what? The software. So building a website is not easy. Okay. It provides a digital platform to share information, offer services, or create online presence for individuals, business, and organizations. Types of website. There are many types of websites that I will list you. That is why I listed them here. We have answers and question website. We have e-commerce website, educational website, community forums, blogs, business website, online payment platform like Remitter. These are payment platform, Remitter. Then we have news website like Vendor and the rest. We have job boards. Like there's one, I think we have Niger Job, something like that. One website called entertainment website. There's so many you can call about and talk about. So many websites. Now, going down, I've talked about web page before, so I'm not going back to that again. A domain name, I've said that is a unique name allocated to what? Your website. After you must have built the website. Okay? A unique name. Then a web server, I've talked about it before. The website are hosted on the web server. So after you build your website, the next thing is what? To host on a web server. So the web server now will now be controlling the website. So it means that anytime you log in, that website should be online. Except the expiring date has what? Reached. If you haven't reached, that means it will keep functioning till the day the website will expire. If you want to renew, keep renewing. Keep renewing. Keep renewing. Till maybe the day we all die and leave all those things. All these things will remain. Alright? So content and purpose, I want to skip that. Let me go to types of website. Let me go to types of website. Now, there are two types of website. Two types of website. Number one, we have the static what? Website, which can also be called as web page. Okay, also refer it as web page. Now, we have a dynamic what? Web page, and we also have what? A dynamic website. So if you are asked, we have two types of what? Website. The first one is a static what? Website, which is what? It remains static. Nothing changes. Its own is just to display information about the organization or about that business. If your school website is static now, you will not be able to what? To generate course form. You will not be able to enter your course form and submit and then print. You will not be able to pay school fees online. But it will only show you the details of what? School fees. You only just go copy and then go to bank and pay. That one is static. Doesn't move. You just there to show information. Some individuals use website and especially use let's say, let me use restaurants. Their own is just to display, but you cannot book. For order. If you need an order, just copy the phone number and then put a call. That's it. Copy the phone number, put a call. That's it. But any other thing that you say, create account. After create account, you go to what? Select the food item that you want, and then I need a bisi and pardon, and then you just enter the whole thing. Then wait for like how many minutes before it will loud. It's very difficult to see that. Very difficult to see that. Theirs is just to show that they are what? Online. In case of any opportunity comes, they also use their website as what? An advantage to gain what? The opportunities. So that's the essence of it. Then when you talk about dynamic nature of the website, it has to do with what? Logic. Do with logic. It has to show the informations and then operate with what? Also operate with logic as well. Just like I said, now you can generate your course form, isn't it? Now if you generate it now, it goes to every student dashboard. And as it displays in every student dashboard, that is where it also displays in the admin dashboard of the ICT. I get my point now. That's how it displays too. You are looking for a job. They send you a link. They say, okay, go and apply. You apply, finish, you click register or send or sign up. You finish, you stand up and you go or submit. Those information you actually enter and you press the submit button to submit. Where did they go to? Huh? Stella, those information, where did they go to? You see, that's the problem. Now, there are some websites that will tell you your credentials are confidential. They are secure with us. Isn't it? They are secure. But the question is that as you press submit, you enter your name, you enter your email, you enter your date of birth, your gender, everything about yourself, you put in that place and then you submit. Your area of you want them to employ you, you put finish, then you submit. Where did that information goes to? That information went to their what? Portal. It's on their website. But you cannot see it. You cannot see it. You have done your part as what? The user. But the remaining partner is left for them as what? The back enders. That is why in the website we have what we call admin. They are the admin, and they are the one to be able to see what you have sent and reply you, either by email or by call. So when you are building a website, ensure you have a secure database such that a cracker will not be able to crack your database and fetch people details and then begin to guess password. That is how it starts. Before you know, you say, they have cracked my Facebook. Who is a cracker? Who is a hacker? Yes. Speak up, let me hear. Who is a hacker? Who is a cracker? No. Without authority. That's a hacker. What of a cracker? Stella, who is a hacker? Who is a cracker? You're supposed to know this. I'm used to teach security, cyber security now. He taught people cyber security, I mean, in 200 level. You didn't talk to people about hacking. Who is a hacker? Who is a cracker? A cracker? Someone who do what? Steal information. A hacker? Wow. Who told you that they are the same? Cracker too, break in. They steal. Not really, I'm not even referring to website. I'm referring to a general issue now. Computer skills, technical skills to understand. Okay, let me break it down. A hacker is someone who gains access to a particular security. Sometimes it can be unauthorized and authorized, depending on the situation, without bad intention. I say what? Without what? Bad intention. So if someone stole your phone or somebody, your money was deducted unknowingly, it means they need a hacker that will do what? They need a hacker that will do what? That will trace it, isn't it? To know where the money goes to. So in that case, the hacker cannot seek the authorized to seek the owner of the account that he wants to access your account. He has to access it through the software and see how the money travels. And then a cracker gains an unauthorized access with a bad intention of doing evil. Are you getting my point? With a bad intention. And that is why each and every day we hear that our Facebook has been what? But you see, when your Facebook is being cracked, people say your Facebook is being hacked. The language of this hacker now has spread to what? A bad omen. Has spread to a bad omen. Now, in the cyber security standard, we have different kinds of what? Hacking. Now, we have different kinds of hacking. We also have the bad hacking. When, as a hacker, you are not supposed to gain an unauthorized access to a particular friend or to a particular person's account with a bad intention. But when it becomes a bad intention, is when that is when we see you as what? A cracker. But whether they crack your account or we see it as well, a hacker. You understand? So if you change that language from today, you can go and learn hacking. You are not learning it to what? To be bad. You are learning it to track the crackers. I don't know if you understand. So even in the bank, they have them. In case of any emergency, they can track them. They can track the crackers. So banks software need to be what? Standardly secured. So bank software, they also use software. The software they use. So care is not taken, that software can be cracked. So they need a hacker that will be checking. Will checking through and see if there is any loopholes. If there is, we close it immediately. If you discover anything, you close it immediately. So in that case, you will be a serious programmer that will be able to learn different kinds of skills. So it's not easy. Some are easy tasks. So this your head go to catch fire. So that's why they pay them very well. Are we getting a point now? So we are talking about dynamic nature of the website. That is why we diverted to that part. So in a dynamic nature of a website, it is very, very important. So it's in logic format. Okay? Very soon I'll call it to an end. I don't want us to come back here and be doing this again. Okay? So let me just round it up. Then, if you come to static, we have HTML, we have CSS, and then if you want to add a little responsiveness to it, then you can include JavaScript. That is static. What you can use in building static: HTML, CSS, and if you want, you can add what? JavaScript. Then when it comes to dynamic, you need what? PHP, Python, Node.js, and other languages. I get my point now. So at this point, you will get the logic of whatever thing you want. You see, the dynamic web page, on the other hand, generate content on the fly, often based on user interaction or other factors, making them suitable for interactive experience. So you need to understand what server-side logic. This page uses server-side scripting language like what? PHP, Python, Node.js to generate content dynamically. Interactive content, the content can be what? Updated in real time, personalized, and changed based on user actions. So it is important you know that. Who is a developer? Who is a developer? That is where you are. You fall in now. Who is a developer? A web developer creates and maintains websites, ensuring they are functional, user-friendly, and performant. They write codes, design layout, and troubleshoot issues to ensure a positive user experience. In web development encompasses both front-end and back-end, with full-stack developer capable of handling all aspects of what the website. So that's to say, there are three segments. Now, there are three segments. As a developer, it's either you fall into the what? You fall into the what? Front end. You fall into what? The back end. Or you fall into what? The full stack. So which one do you now belong to? The front end is just like the static website that you just build that displays only informations, while the back end is the logic nature of it. While the full stack is what? The both front end and the back end. So as a developer, which one do you belong to? So if you are a front end builder and you get a job of front end and back end, what do? As you build your front end, you look for Richard, I want to be a back end developer. I want to use PHP, I want to use or Python. Can you build with Python? If yes, okay. This is what I want. Do it, and then we share it 70-30 or 60-40. You understand? Don't be a stingy man. If you are a back-end developer, you get a job, you share with who? A front-end developer. Don't say I can do it. So you go ahead and then build blunder for the customer. You will go jail. You go and sleep in cell for 1 week. Then your eye will clear. So it's important. So don't play. So don't play. Customer will arrest you. Anyone you know that you cannot do, look for a friend that can do it, or look for someone who can do it, or put you through. If not, my God. Customers, that money where you don't give, you go pay and times 10. You're going to look where you go get the money, come pay the money back. Then you will learn lesson. Assuming I know, I would have called Isaac to come and help me and do the back end or front end. So I will share the money. Your own can be bigger, his own can be small, because now you get the contract. You understand? So don't be accountable. Even me like this, I see they look up to my oga dem. Anywhere it choke me, I reach out to them. How far? See this thing like this. How am I going to do it? How do I do it? How do I fix it? At the end of the day, if the client pay, I'll give am wetin? Recharge card for helping me to sort out the problem. That is how the system works. If you say you want to be stingy to yourself alone, the day you go hammer you, all your friends go run away. They don't even go put body for your matter. Before you know, you go see police for your door. Are you Mr. Fenny? You learn that you build a website for a client and it's not well built, and the agreement you breach it. You are wanted in the station. You learn there. Are you getting now? An advice again. If you are building a website for somebody, it is advisable you get what? A memorandum of understanding. You know what I mean? Meaning that somebody say, I want to build an NGO. Okay. Go and put it in writing. What and what you want to be in that website. Once you put it, he brings, you sign. If you have your condition to state, you state. And the condition should be, sir, ma'am, after building, who is going to maintain the website? If it is me, this is what you be paying me per month. You get my point? Or you be paying me based on what? Percentage. That one happens when you have a commercial website. That is where you make your money. Huh? That's where you make your money. The history of this school, Federal University Lafayette, the guy who developed the website bargained for 2% on each amount of money that passes through that website. When the school discovered that students don't plenty and 2%, the students are paying 50 something, 30 something, 2% not be small money. At the end of the day, discover the guy's money is heading to like 300, 400, 500. You understand? The school does this is your money where they get. They pass lecturer. So what happened? The school now terminated the guy's contract and employed the young developers to be working in the ICT system, such that they will do what? Paying them whatever thing they want. So as a developer, if you come across such system and you are opportune to cite in a percentage that you'll be getting, it's fine. I don't know if you know that Dr. Karim manages NASMES software. You don't know. Your ICT director, Dr. Karim. You don't know that he's the one that built this NASMES Polytechnic software. Okay, I've told you today. Now, how much does he get? I don't know whether by now it will be increased. As of 2019, he was getting 1,000 per each student. It's a contract that is signed. You know, it's a military school now, but they cannot just breathe a contract like that. He gets 1,000 per each student. So imagine, in a year, you pay him. So it depends on what you agreed. So that's why memorandum is important. If you will do work finish and you'll be sweating on the work and no gain on it. If you want to put it, you'll be paying me monthly, so amount. Fine. You want to strike a percent. And that percent comes when you know that money is passing through that software. If money is not passing through, then your own is pay me my percent, pay me my part of it every month. Are we good? So take note of that. So I've explained a full stack. I've explained front-end developers and back-end developers. So just take note of that. So decide on which way you are going to fall after today. You said? You can be both front end and back end. You can. Your dedication can give you that. You can build in front end, you can also build in back end. It's your money. Okay? At least that one you will eat it alone. That one you will eat it alone. Okay, skills required as a developer. What defines a successful website developer? What is a successful website developer? The following are just few of the skills that can help professionals advance their careers in web development. Programming what? Ability. Strong coding skills are essential. Mastering programming languages such as what? HTML and CSS is just a start. Technology changes faster. So a willingness to always be learning new coding techniques is important. So you don't remember where you are. You keep what? Growing. The reason why you see our accounts are being cracked on a daily basis is because we don't grow. You see people who crack accounts, they read, they do research. Before you know, they don't design one virus. Who for your send give you. You will see click me. Have you seen such on online? All of them, not all are real. Some are virus. Once you click it, your system starts doing like, I'll say Apollo catcher. You understand? If your system did not malfunction at that time, by the time you now off your system and you want to on it back, you see operating system wahala. Or it will bring out a setting where you tell you enter this, enter that, and if you foolishly enter those details and you click submit, you have given the person who what? Access. So you see, crackers don't sleep. And let me also use the word like bad hackers, because the hackers these days now that some of them have turned bad too. They don't sleep, they keep reading to see what they will use to what? Destroy users. So that's why we need to be careful. Pay attention to details. Testing and debugging codes require patience. Testing and what? Debugging code require what? Patience. And analytical skills to understand what went wrong and how to fix it. Mind you, you are going to be seeing codes here that sometimes it will even keep us for hours. Because it's a practical course. Sometimes it will keep us for hours. Even me might not even notice it. We will be here like hours or few minutes before we fix the error. And sometimes the code can keep you for a whole day or 1 week because of one little comma that you put or you did not remove or that you did not add. Will keep you. Your mind will not go there. It is this semicolon, it is this comma, it is this full stop that is keeping me for hours like this. So what you need to do now, you don't need to be angry. Just be patient. If you do, if the error keeps showing, shut down, go rest, come back, continue again. Then you fix the problem. That's what programmer does. They don't get angry anyhow. Which can't think why they think they suffer me like this? You be ready to suffer. Creative thinking. Successful websites have to attract and keep users as well as be visible to search engine. Web developers have to be creative in how they put together user experience, search engine optimization, and other factors in building a good site. Very, very important. They say build a website, now you go to do another thing. All this I will scroll down. This one is readable. It's readable. So this is the last thing I'm going to talk of here. The last thing I'm going to talk about here. What is web design? Web design is the planning and creation of website. This includes the information users interface, site structure, navigations, layout, colors, fonts, and images. Very, very important thing. Most of us will discover that if you see somebody build a website for you, you see that one striking purple color is giving the other side. One striking red color is crossing this other side. What do you mean this person will do like this? Your design needs to be befitting. So you don't design website anyhow. If you're a graphic designer here, you will know that you don't design anyhow. Somebody give you a wedding card to do, you mix color anyhow. You look at the wedding card, say they give nonsense. Me, I will not collect it. You pay my money that I pay you. Let me show. So when you are designing a website, be mindful of what? Colors, user interface, structures, navigations, colors, image, how you what? You position them. It's important. You don't build anyhow. And that is why there's a statement here. All of these things I've mentioned here, all of this combined with a principle of what? We're designing to create a website that meets the goal of who? The owner and what? The designer. That's how you will develop a website, you will build a website, you will discover that you yourself will, if the client will give you this work, no appreciate this work and no do the warrior. Because there's this piece that you will have within you that this website is okay, over okay, the warrior. I have now. But in a market, we don't consider ourselves first. We consider the satisfaction of the customer is what? My satisfaction. So if the customer is satisfied, I am satisfied too. I have my point now. So we must build a website that will first of all meet the goal of the owner and the designer. Then you as the designer, you'll be okay. So if the owner is not satisfied, that means that there's a problem. There's a problem. You will go back and redo again. If you come back and it doesn't satisfy, you will go back and redo. That is how you will keep doing until you just don't tire yourself. So you leave the work. Maybe you will carry it and give it to another person. So as a developer, you must pay attention to all of those things. So we have web technologies here. Microsoft Net, WordPress. These are what? Web technologies you can use to build a website. So web technologies that use to build a website. WordPress. Okay? WordPress is a very nice tool, often used in our modern days. I get my point. If you understand how to use the WordPress, is the simplest way, shortest way. I get my point. What? All of this is it online or offline? These technologies. Their languages now. Microsoft. If you know how to build in Microsoft, if you know how to build, like when you talk about Microsoft, how to build something like all these operating systems, software like this. I am now. Then you should be getting ready to can write codes in such level. Then you should be getting ready at least to go and work with Microsoft. Yeah, Bill Gates, you go and work with Bill Gates. Maybe he will pick you one day. Then WordPress too is a technology that you can use in building a website. Then Bootstrap is also a tool technology you can use in building a website. We have jQuery. This one too, you can use it in building a website, mostly like back end of it, like database. Then HTML, which is what we are going to do. CSS, we are going to do this one. JS, we'll do small part of this one. Then Java. This one too is one of the another Ubunga one. Can use it to build website. Your skill is built with Java. But I know it's Karen, he knows Java very well. PHP. Then this one is Windows. This one is Windows. This one is Android. This one is what? Ruby. This one is PS. This one is AI, which is what is going on these days now. This is Angular JS. We have Apple, we have PS, we have Node.js, and then we have Python. All of these are languages that we can use in writing, in developing a website. So if you cannot use any of these ones, you can use other ones doing that. Are we good? So in our next class, we should be talking about what? Introduction to what? HTML. Then practical begins. Any question? I believe in our next class, people should come with system. Any question? Is that the question? Okay, all that I have said, did you understand? So far, for all that I have said so far, did you understand? Huh? No. Okay. Okay, we are going to be using them offline. But not all of them. Yeah. This one I say you want to do all of them, you give yourself like 2 to 3 years. So this one is not small thing. Your head will boss. That's why you want to do all these ones. Only this Microsoft service another work. Java again is another work entirely. Very, very large. Very, very large. So we will be dealing with what? HTML, CSS, part of JavaScript, and then PHP. And then we will also deal with what MySQL. That one is not here. That's why this jQuery is here. Alright? Cool. So if you don't have, how many of you have Visual Studio? Have Visual Studio? Okay. You don't have Visual Studio there. When you come on Monday, on Wednesday, we'll be meeting. When you come on Wednesday, then we'll forge ahead from there. Okay? I think that will be all for today. Is it? Yes, you can create a platform, but I